Welcome back to Cripple Fix It. It's become very apparent after editing the diagnosis video that I was trying to... it was a job. I mean, the best way to describe it would be trying to make a silk purse from a sow's ear. Would be the old way of saying it, or trying to polish a turd would be the more modern version. I saw loads of things I did wrong. Hopefully it was entertaining anyway, but not necessarily informative, because I didn't talk while I was diagnosing the car. So you had no idea what I was doing, really, and I didn't. So this is a debriefing on the diagnosis video. So I will place this straight after the diagnosis video in the timeline. Now, the timelines I've also noticed, are all over the place. I mean, Doctor Who wouldn't have a clue what to do. And it's just... I'm talking about stuff that I may have done previously, but then haven't edited the video to put it on. Because I've got videos that I need to put on that are now out of sync, really. Although they've got their own subject matter. I might mention the diagnosis videos, or video of the car, in which case you aren't going to know where the hell I... Well, I don't know what time I'm in. So, I think the biggest problem I had was I didn't plan it. That'd be my point number one to fix. And that's an easy thing to fix, isn't it, really? I've just got to think about what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to say, because that's the whole point of diagnosing. You don't know what you're going to find. It was, I think the other problem is I had too many things to do at once. I had to video, talk about the diagnosis, deal with my brother saying daft things like 4 blobs, and then trying to work out what he's talking about. Hobbling around, everything was just... So what I decided not to do, or what I cut out, was the talking about the diagnosis, which is, some people might find useful. And it was the whole point of it, really. So, I'm going to have to plan that a bit better and concentrate on what I'm doing. Anyway, to break down what I'm diagnosing the car, being a modern car, which is not what I was used to. I'm used to older cars. And so this car had a heater matrix, which is just a little radiator in the car, which a fan blows through, blows heat into the car, and that's fed by water pipes from the engine. Those water pipes get warm first, because the thermostat's shut. So the water then is diverted through that heater back. The engine then warms up. The thermostat should open. The top hose of the radiator will then fill with warm water, go through the radiator, and then circulate like that, whilst the heater's still going. On this car, it didn't appear to have a valve controlling the amount of water going through the heater matrix. I mean, I got my electrical tester all out ready, thinking, well, it has air conditioning or climate control, so where you set it to the degrees of what you want it to be, or blobs as my brother likes to call them. So if you set it to 18 degrees, it will then keep the car at 18 degrees. And I think the Nissan does it by a flap, so it controls the heat and it mixes the hot air with cold air, or with aircon. Sometimes if you're demisting, the aircon comes on. So it does all this through the computer in the car and the controls, not by a valve. So with it not getting warm, you got to think, well, it could be a flap that's controlling the air, or in his case, the engine. I mean, we had it running for 25-30 minutes, and it never, the top hose never got hot. So I can deduce from that the thermostat never opened. But you would have thought the car would overheat. I mean, the fan never cut in. It's an electric fan on there. So when the engine, if you're sitting in traffic, the engine, when it gets to a certain temperature, the fan should cut in, drop it to a temperature, and then cut out, and then it rises again, and the same thing happens again, the fan cuts in. That never happened, because the top hose was not getting warm. It was cold. The heater got a little bit warm, but it didn't seem to be flowing through anything. So my thoughts are, well, the engine should have been hot, because the temperature gauge of the engine in the cluster was, as my brother said, 4 blobs, which was normal operating temperature. It went up to 5, I think, at one point. So in the end, I mean, it's only done 68,000 miles. In the end, I can't imagine the water pump impeller has gone. That's the other problem. It could have been. No circulating of the water. Or circulation of the water. But the water was clean and with antifreeze in it. You don't normally get it, and it would have had a metal impeller on that one. They can rust away, but after years, you would have thought, a lot more miles. And with water that was rusty, mucky mess, in which case I might have thought it was a water pump. Well, of course, the water pump on those is a bit of a problem, because it's controlled by it's powered by the cam belt. So you would need to have a cam belt changed at the same time. I'm not getting involved with that. I could do it. I've done them before. But I got a feeling at the moment I would probably, the video would be X-rated with swearing. So my deduction was that it's the thermostat, which is overly complicated, as I said before, or in the future, or in the past, I don't know. It's like I said, with timelines all over the shop. But the thermostat is overly complicated, has loads of it's even got electrical connection in it. Don't know what that's for. I'll need to look at the wiring diagram to find out what it's for. It may be it controls the heater from that. If it does, then that'd be great. Put a new one on. But they're about 40 quid, I think, because you got all the plastic housing. The top hose comes off of it. The thermostat will be in it already. You can't just buy the thermostat on its own, which is a little metal thing with a wax, normally a wax or something, that expands with the heat and opens up and then shuts when it gets cold. That's all it does. So I think I'm going to replace that when he gets back. Or like I said, if he gets back. and hope that fixes it. If that doesn't fix it, he's looked up the cam belt change time, which he said was 150,000, which sounds like a hell of a lot to me. Or 5 years. Well, the car's 10 years old and hasn't had it done. So it really probably needs doing, and he'll have a water pump at the same time. Anyway, because most people will change the water pump rather than risk putting it all back together, cam belt on, tensioner on, all new. Then you all lovely. Thank you very much. 2 weeks later, the water pump goes. You got to do it all again and a new cam belt. I hate cam belts. I may have found out why my phone cuts out, but I don't think so. There's nothing in the settings that I can find other than it going to screensaver, which you might be trying to do. I'll update you on that. I've changed it to more time than it was. Added another 5 minutes on, so if I see a difference, I'll know that that's what it's trying to do. Cutting everything out because it's going to screensaver. It shouldn't do, because technically it's being used when I'm videoing. So maybe a glitch in the programming. So that's an update. Hopefully that will give everyone a clue of what I did in the last video, which I hope hopefully you'll like it. But it really didn't describe, or I didn't describe what the hell I was doing. And I've got another video to do in the future on the editing, which is good. You'll see that the speeded up bit, well, you've probably already seen it, worked brilliantly. Bit of a problem because I decided to put some music in, and YouTube does a check on the video and found out that the 2 bits of music I used were copyrighted. I mean, they're 40, 50 years old, yet any money the video makes, which none of them are making any money at the moment because I've got to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of people watching the videos, which is a long way off before any of the videos make any money. By the advertising, not by people paying. You make money by, they pay you a piddly amount per advert that's shown in the process of that video. But I don't honestly think I'm going to be making myself into Richard Branson by it, but who knows? I think that's all. And I hope that describes the problem and my thinking on the car. I think halfway through I thought it's got to be blocked, but it's too clean to be blocked, in my opinion. It may be, but if I do the thermostat, I'll flush out the heater anyway. Just bung a hose pipe on it and just back flush it. Put it on the return, let it go back. But I don't suspect anything will come out of it other than water. Right, so hopefully I'm going to straighten out the timeline, have a chat with Dr. Who and see what he thinks. And I've got to get myself into a habit of planning and making notes, which I've done today. Bit of a problem with my writing, because I can write something down and within 5 minutes I can't read it because I've forgotten what I wrote, because really my writing's shocking. It's got worse since my stroke, but I can't really blame all of it on that. And I can't really blame the schools, because my writing was bad when I left school. It's not bad in what I write, it's just illegible. And I do print capitals. And even so, it's shocking. I think most blokes have terrible writing, don't they? Most women have lovely, beautiful writing. Just another one of those differences. Or the fact that women are more careful. Blokes aren't. Anyway, that should do it. Cheerio for now.